Hello, this message is for Taurus, the single Tauruses out there. Alright, so I'm just going to hop right into it. So the first three cards that came out here is we have the Fool, Temperance in reverse, and the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like this is past energy here. So I feel like there was a circumstance or scenario, situation, relationship, whatever, having to do with, your love life, where you kind of felt like a fool. And it was just like you were so enthusiastic to be where you are when you were there that there were things happening around you that you were kind of had your blinders to. And there was some imbalances and well, basically you just weren't aware of not only had your blinders on because of how enthusiastic you are about what it was you were doing. So in this case, it would be in a relationship. Tauruses really like to not only receive gifts but give gifts, here he's walking up with a picnic basket and a flower wreath, and he's completely unaware that there's zombies coming out of the ground. And why are you walking around in a graveyard with a picnic basket and a wreath? Like, is that the shortcut to your girl's house? Does she live in a house that's by the graveyard? Because it's one of them old school things where the caretaker's house or whatever. You dating the caretaker? I don't know. It's like you just tune out what's happening around you because you're just kind of so used to the bullshit that it's not even really alarming to you. And there was, no matter how hard you tried to balance it out, you weren't able to because you weren't receiving that on the same end from your partner, or I'm just gonna say it, from your partner. They weren't putting in the same effort and putting so therefore the results of what they put in and what you put in didn't amount to this perfect situation that you wanted it to be, or that you feel like you deserve it to be. It came to an end. The Ten of Swords is the end of a cycle, but here the Ten of Swords is in reverse. So when one door closes, another door opens. But even though this was a painful situation that you went through, after you went through it, you gained knowledge. You understood the perspective that you didn't have, that you had as a result of the ending that occurred. And it wasn't a loss because you grew from it and you learned some things about yourself. And I'll come back to that. So then the next set of cards that came out here, we have the Sun card, the Knight of Wands, and the Empress in reverse. So I feel like this energy is more what's happening currently in your life for those single Tauruses out there. So I feel like there's probably prospects on the horizon, and unfortunately they're just fuckboys. They mean well and are doing the best that they know how to do, but it's not really what you're looking for. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's almost maybe something not too serious. It could be a fun time. The Knight of Wands here, it's just you kind of see through the bullshit because of the knowledge that you gained over here in the past. And not only that, but you have the perspective of seeing like the bigger picture. And, you know, the Knight of Wands is kind of just like ready to party. Here for a good time, not here for a long time. And I think that's further driven home by the Empress in reverse, because this is saying like they're not really like tapped into like their spiritual side, and they're not really like really connecting with their emotions with this energy that's happening here. So this energy could be like, this Empress in reverse could be like what you're feeling, or like how you feel, how they make you feel. Like it's just not really that serious, so like you can't even really even find yourself attached to it at all. You're not really you know how you feel. You may know how you feel about if there is somebody on the that you have prospects on, or a potential or whatever, or maybe it's more than one. You just kind of are just filling them out and just seeing like what the real deal is, because you don't trust them, you don't really know them that well, and I mean, it's just in your nature to kind of gauge your person and where they stand and how they feel before you really disclose how you feel. But in the plus side, they are kind of giving you that attention that you desire, and they're probably good looking. You know, maybe they have a nice car, maybe they got some money, you know, they got the goodies, they got the funds to have a good time, maybe to do something interesting and new, like, I don't know, going on a helicopter ride for something. I don't know. So I feel like this is just like playful, kind of fun energy. Don't take it too seriously unless you know for sure that feelings are involved in, but I feel like you know that that's not the case. So on the horizon in the future energy here with these last two cards, I feel like this is just saying that you're exhausted, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, and you really need to rest and recuperate and forgive yourself and make peace for anything that you may be holding on to that has to do with past relationships. That's really just kind of taking your attention and blocking you from loving yourself more and completely. The Ace of Cups, you know, it is talking about a new love. The Ace is the beginning of a new cycle. So that's another thing about this energy, where it doesn't feel like it's like the beginning or the end. It's just kind of like an in-between energy, where it's just like you needed to do this and kind of have fun or whatever. And now in the near future, I feel like once you've gotten this energy out of your system, you're gonna just really start to focus on yourself and your needs, and you know, just have some me time. And you have your sights set on what it is that you're looking for, which is the real love, the true love, the one that fills you to the point that you're overflowing, and not just physically but emotionally. And I feel like this is saying that this love isn't going to show up in your life until you really work on healing yourself and making peace with anything that you maybe did in the past, that you feel like you wouldn't have done had you had more options, or you feel like you did what you had to do because of the circumstances that you were in. Okay, so that's kind of like, you know, all that emotional, fun stuff, whatever. So I'm going to get to the good stuff, which is, you know, the sex stuff. So I have a deck here, which I think is like French or something, and you just have to bear with me because it's not even in English. But this is going to be talking about the sex energy here. So sexual energy, whatever. So let's pull some cards for this past here, the past. Oh wow, I got some cards that are flipped. What is happening? The Emperor and the Ace of Cups again that are flipped. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. And we got another ace. I'm sorry, that was the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. See, some of these cards kind of hard to tell what they are because they're literally not in English, and the words that are in English don't really say what the traditional tarot cards say anyway. Alright, so please tell me more about this past energy for my single Tauruses. What do we got? What is this? I gotta look at this in the upright. This is the Page of Earth in reverse. Make sure that's in frame here. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see what's happening, but if you look, he's got his hands in his pants and he is masturbating. It looks like he might be watching something happening that he's not supposed to be watching or listening against the wall. So this is in reverse. This is in reverse. So let me think about this here. So I feel like this is saying that this was probably talking about a relationship that was going on for a while, or it was like a, you know, like a long-term relationship. It wasn't anything that was new, and the issues that came up that you were dealing with, especially when it has to do with sex, wasn't new. I'm just gonna pull another card because I'm not really getting too much from this, and stop making. Oh, do I got another card that's not? Come on, what's happening right now? One more card here for this past energy having to do with any sexual whatevers. The Empress in the upright. Okay. Okay. So I feel like what was happening here in the past, especially, maybe part of the miscommunication or whatever was kind of like, somebody didn't feel like they were good enough. And it is the woman sitting up and the male kneeling before her. So I feel like in this case it was saying that the guy in the situation, or the masculine figure in this situation, in the past, didn't feel like they were good enough, didn't feel like they lived up to the Empress's standards. Now, ironically, here we got the Empress in reverse, and here we got the Empress in the upright. So it was like the Empress is the embodiment of love and nurturing, and if you're fortunate enough to have a sexual encounter with an individual that embodies the Empress energy, you're in for a treat. And you're not gonna go off into a corner and I don't know, have your way with yourself. So I feel like there was a lot of at least in the beginning, there was a lot of sexy fun time. We'll just say that. And this is the energy. I mean, I definitely feel like this is like Taurus energy, where Tauruses, especially with their partners, are very generous and not only take care of their partners emotionally but physically. So maybe somebody in, maybe not the guy, I don't know, maybe whoever was playing a more masculine role, however you want to look at that, just didn't feel like that they lived up to their standards, or didn't feel like they were doing what they were supposed to be doing in the sack. And that could be part of the information that was missing here for there to be a balance. In any case, there's not a lot of sex happening. There's a lot of sexual tension here in the past. Okay. What about the future with this Knight of Wands energy and the Sun card and the Empress? We have the two of Swords. In most traditional decks, the Two of Swords usually means a choice. But I'm just going to take it for what it says, what it looks like on this card. And it's like she's holding a trophy. So I feel like this situation that's right now, it's very superficial. Like currently what's happening. It's very like, ooh, look at what I have. Like it's a new toy. Like one party may think they're way better than the other party. It's very materialistic. It's just not something that's going to last. Because that's not like, it's fleeting. It's just fleeting. And yeah, I'll just pull one more card here. Give me another card here for these cards in the middle. And we got the Three of Swords. Again, it doesn't look like there's too much sex happening here. Not too much sex going on. She looks like she has to pee. Three of Swords in most decks usually talk about heartache, heartbreak, betrayal. So, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna say it like, I don't know, maybe she's having a little bit too much fun with her toys and she needs to go to the doctors, and she had a little bit too much fun. Needs to go get some antibiotics or something. I'm sorry. It came to mind, so I'll just say it. There might be a lot of sex going on, but I think it's just with one person, and maybe it might be involved with some electric toys happening here. Probably because the only thing they're dealing with is fuck boys or fuck girls, however you want to look at it. You know, people that in this day and age, especially with all the things that are going on that you can get, you know, from having sex, never mind just hurt feelings. Like, you know, sometimes the safer option is just, you know, having fun with yourself. Especially if you're gonna expose yourself like that and be vulnerable with somebody that you don't trust and maybe you don't love either. All right, so what about this future energy here? This true love, this Ace of Cups stuff, this potential for new love. If anything, self-love, which is once you embody self-love, once you are love and love yourself on the inside, what you manifest and create is what you're focusing on. So when you focus on loving yourself, that is what the universe gives you more of, is more of things that you love and that love you in return. So that is the key to finding true love, is to love yourself. Just one card here. Gimme another card for the future energy with the Four of Swords and the Ace of Cups. I just heard like weird science when I looked at this. Like, it's like maybe you dream about like creating the perfect man like they did in Weird Science here. Okay, I don't know. So this card here came out in the reverse. What is this? This is the three of Earth, Three of Pentacles, and it's in the reverse. And just to show you in the upright, there's some sex going on here, but it's kind of fucked up. So it's in the reverse. So just make sure that's in frame. So I feel like this is talking about the kind of love that you're opening yourself up to in the future is one that you don't have to worry about hiding or keeping secret in any way, shape, or form. But at the same time, you're not flaunting it and having to be an exhibitionist. The kind of love that you're opening yourself up to, the kind of sex that you're opening yourself up to with that love in the future, is not one where you're seeking approval or need approval. You know that you have it automatically. And it's something that you're proud of and you're not shy about. I heard, no, I'm not gonna say that word. So clearly this love that's coming up in the future is the real deal. I heard set in stone. They're stable. They are obsessed with you because you're obsessed with you. Give me another card here, please. One more card. Give me another card. Another card. Okay, this card. Oh, the Chariot. Again with the inanimate objects. Alright, so for these last two cards, it's future energy. We got the Chariot. So, okay. See, like they're watching, but it's not actually watching. So maybe this is like, I don't know. Maybe this... I mean, the obvious thing is like porno, you know? Watching porn with your ma'am or sir. Or it's like, you know, sex that's like... Okay, so like when you watch a porno, like it's like imaginary, it's imagination, and most pornos are fucking awful. But the idea of a porno is like, can you imagine if this shit actually happened type of thing. So maybe it's like the sex life that you're going to be having in the future is like some shit that like, you're like, yeah, I could imagine seeing this shit on a porno. It's gonna be some hot ass sex for sure. She's just surrounded in fire. Okay, and final messages, final love messages, some love advice here. Let me get the deck. Alright, we got some final messages, some final love messages, and they're fun messages, so... Okay, so that's for the past. This, alright, what else we got? Another one here. For the current energy. Alright, and... future energy. All right. Do you really need a card for this? Okay, so this is in the reverse. So it says use big words like validate, acknowledge, emphasize. And it was in the reverse. So clearly there was a lack of communication going on. There was no validating, no acknowledgement. especially like for the efforts that were being put forward here. And you know, with the Empress being here, like it was clearly like the Empress deserves to have those kind of conversations and acknowledgments and to have empathy. So there was just like a whole lot of not so great stuff happening here, but it's okay because what it brings you to is this here. And this is in the reverse, and it says people are messy, and it's in the reverse. So I mean, with it in being in the reverse, again, I think this is further driving it home that it's just like you're not even really worried about whatever may be potential prospects. Like, you're not taking them seriously at all. You're not worried about people being messy because you're not getting in that mess. And the last one says, do you really need a card for this? What does it say? Have sex. So clearly you got some hot sex coming up in the future, and it's gonna be hot because it's gonna be with somebody that you actually love and they actually love you. And I'm not saying that, like, you know, I'm like, hey, you're definitely gonna get a boyfriend or girlfriend in the future or anything like that, and hey, that's not gonna happen now. What I'm saying is this is the energy that, as on your current trajectory path that you're on, from what happened in the past to where you're in the future, or to where you're in the present to where you're going to end up in the future, continuing on the path that you're on, you're only going to end up retreating to yourself and finding self-love when you're being confronted with people that are just they're just a waste of your time and efforts. So of course you're going to turn to yourself and you're going to take care of yourself. And here, because you've gone beyond the superficial needs of taking care of yourself, you're going to go into your heart energy and really just nurture and love yourself and forgive yourself. And because you're embodying that, that is what you're putting out, and that is what's going to come back to you. And you got some good times on the horizon. I would just say, you want to speed up this process of what's on the horizon. Just really focus on loving yourself and taking care of yourself, and not getting involved with messy people, and not getting involved with people that can't open up to you emotionally. And with that, that's my message. I don't put time frames on this. I'm not saying, you know, this is going to happen today, tomorrow, or whatever. I'm saying that if you continue on the current trajectory path that you're on, this has the greatest potential as it currently stands to being your future energy. You want that now, be that now. All right, thanks for watching. Oh, wow, it's all cut off. Okay.